what's up, you guys? We're on our way down to Bakersfield to see the new Alien Romulus movie. Should be really good. It's been hyped up for like the last 2 weeks. I don't know if you guys have seen all the commercials, and there's been like the people running around certain cities and like the aliens breaking out of their chest and stuff. It's really cool. But hopefully I can get my grubby little fingers on one of those really cool popcorn buckets they have out right now for aliens. One of them they have is like the xenomorph's head, which is really cool. And then another one they have is like, what do you call them? The face suckers, which is like on the side of one of the big popcorn tubs, and it actually lights up all green. It looks really cool.
It looks like a specimen jar.
Yeah, it looks like a specimen jar. I'm kind of wanting that because it looks like it's kind of like breaking out of the specimen jar. I think that one would be really, really cool to have. But I just wanted to touch bases with you guys about, you know, kind of on an emotional level a little bit, because I've been kind of going through it with my seasonal affective disorder lately. I kind of touched on it in the last video, not really a lot, but just a tiny bit. It's really hard. I go through this every year with the changing of the seasons. I'll go from like mania and anxiety into more of a like depressive state where like everything's really, really negative. I don't really want to do anything or go anywhere or talk to anybody. Kind of self-implode, if you will. Cry a lot, get really emotional. I get very overly sensitive and like take things the wrong way. It's just really hard for the people around me to cope with too, because they're coping with it the same way I am. But my therapist said something today that made me really laugh. I love my therapist. She was like, yeah, it really impresses me how you're just like raw dogging bipolar disorder. Like you're not on any type of meds or anything like that. And I'm like, yeah, I just, you know, I just don't really feel comfortable taking meds anymore. I went a large portion of my life on medication and trying different medications, and unfortunately none of them really helped me. A lot of them ended up just making me worse, like whether it be, you know, more moody, or like one of them made me like rage out and get really angry really easily. One of them was giving me like Parkinson's type tremors when I was taking it. Most of them make you just really tired, really out of it, really like just not yourself, you know. And some of them, one of them even made me feel like I was like everything was in slow motion. That was the weirdest one I've ever taken. And I think it was because when you have mania and bipolar disorder and things like that, your mind tends to run at a very high frequency. And I've actually gotten used to that over the years, like the rush of thoughts and like going from one thought to another, and everything's really fast paced in your mind. So that when I took that medication and it slowed everything down, it almost like hit an emergency brake, if you will, on my thoughts. It really scared the crap out of me because I was like, I'm so used to living on this like high frequency brainwave that when everything just gets stopped all at once, it's really freaky. So I hated that, stopped taking it immediately. And then I just got tired of trying to find the right pills for me, because it's like, you don't realize it takes such a long time to go from one medication to the other, and you really have to, you know, try one for a couple weeks, see how it does, and then if it's not good, then you have to wait until that one wears off, and then you try another one. You gotta, and then in between, you're going to these psych appointments, and you're talking to them about how you feel, and they're like, well, let's try this, let's try that, let's try this, and I just got tired of trying stuff. So that's why I just go it alone now, and I've actually found that it works for me. It's not going to work for everybody, and I would not recommend it for sure to just go unmedicated. If medication works for you, continue to take your medication. It's not an easy path to go down by any means. I'll tell you that right now. It's rough. You got to be a tough, a hard cookie for this one. But you know, I find different things that works for me. You know, like going on walks or exercising or watching a funny show that I like, or getting out of the house, getting some sunshine. You know, and those things work for everybody. Yeah, but some things work better for me than others. And you know, I was just talking to John the other day about how it's really hard to have a serious mental illness, not just one, but several. And you know, every day you wake up, it's like you're playing a game with your brain. Like, what are we going to do today? What's the mood we're in today? How are we going to fix it? What are we going to do? Like, I don't think people realize like how much you go through in just a given day when you have a serious mental illness, but it's really, really hard. And you know, a lot of times I'll wake up, I'll just be in a terrible mood. Nobody would have done anything to me. Nothing happened. All the chemicals in my brain are misfiring, and I'm just feeling rotten. Like, I'm mad, for some reason I'm angry about everything, and then I'll be like, okay, well, let's try this and see how that works. That doesn't work. Okay, let's try that. And then that doesn't work. And I'm like, okay, let's try this. And then, before you know it, half the day's over, and it feel like you've wasted your day on just bad moods and, things like that. And it just, I don't know, it gets exhausting and overwhelming over time, like really exhausting. And, I was telling John the other night that having a mental illness is really scary because things like, suicide and going to jail are never off the table for you. Or being hospitalized, being put on a 5150, like those types of things are never off the table. And it's a scary reality to live in because a lot of people, they can control the everyday aspects of their life, whereas like somebody like me, it's really, really hard to control those things. And, my therapist was like, well, what's keeping you here? Like, what's keeping you out of jail, and what's keeping you from, wanting to commit suicide? And I'm like, my kids, my family. Like, that's literally all I think about. Like, I've been to jail before, unfortunately. I've had run-ins with the law because of my problems, and it just wasn't worth it. It's like, jail is disgusting. They don't clean. The people in there are scary. Like, they're crazy, and not in a good way. They're just mean, crazy people, and I just don't belong there with those people. And it was just horrible. The time I spent there, it was awful. It was like a nightmare. And then you have repercussions when you get out. It affects your work. You could lose your job. You could lose friends. You could lose relationships. You can, you don't realize how much going to jail really affects you until you've been there and done that. Okay. And then it's not good. So yeah, it's hard. It's a hard road to go down. I'm not going to lie. Every year it's very taxing on me, having to go through these ups and downs and these constant changes. It's not easy by any means. And then just a couple days ago was the 3-year anniversary of John's accident. And, just thinking back to everything that we've been through, everything he's been through, everything we've been through together as a couple is just very traumatic and very emotional. And, our lives were basically flipped upside down and changed drastically in overnight. Like, it was just so insane, the changes that happened. And we literally just had to, be stronger together and learn how to fight through those things and, really help each other through that dark chapter of our life. And, when people go through like a work-related accident, you don't realize, but that's your livelihood. That's your paycheck. That's how you live. And, we get like half the amount of money that we used to now, and we have a family of 6, and it's really hard to get by and make ends meet on a small check every 2 weeks. And then, sometimes they won't give us the right amount, and sometimes they'll wait like 4 to 6 weeks to pay us, and then our bills are like bouncing and like things are getting shut off, and it's so stressful. Like, I know I'm not proud of myself, but when he was on the phone with the attorneys, I'm like yelling and screaming in the background because I'm so mad and frustrated with these people, like, because they don't understand like what we've been through, what we're going through, like how stressful this is, how long it's been. Like, 3 years is a long time. 3 years is a long time to wait for a settlement, a relief, a help, a handout, the money he deserves, really. And I just don't think people think about how hard these workers' comp cases are and these disability cases are on people. And a lot of times the health insurance companies will drag them out for as long as they can so they don't have to pay you, unfortunately. And then you're always the one that suffers. So like, you're not going through a hard enough time already, where he's, in a lot of pain. He's going back and forth to doctor's appointments and physical therapies and having surgeries, multiple surgeries, and then not having the money and the means to help pay for those visits. Like, some of them are like out in LA, and like we have to drive several hours just to get there on like little to no money. And like, they just don't think about things like that. Or like the holidays come around and we're slammed, and like, it sucks. It just sucks. We have an old car. It's got car problems. We need the money for that. Like, I don't know. It's hard. And I was really struggling the last couple of weeks because, his court case got pushed out for another 3 months. And that's why I was freaking out on the people on the phone. But then, after I freak out, then I feel bad because I don't want to mess up his case because I've got a big mouth and a temper. And So just really stressful, you know, stuff to deal with, but I'm trying to push through. We're both trying to push through as best as we can. And days like this are so important, you know? So I just wanted to like remind all of you as well, like if you're having a really stressful time, if you're really going through it, don't forget to take time out for yourself. Don't forget to go on a walk. Don't forget to like exercise or eat right, or like sleep in a little bit, catch up on your sleep, or like cancel all your plans one day and just be lazy, or just go out to the movies and have fun, go out with your friends. That's really so important to reset your mind frame to get you back on a better mental level. People don't understand that. Those timeouts, those breaks, those things that you do for you are so vitally important. And I know it's easy to become, you know, a workaholic or like throw yourself into, you know, your job, but your brain, your mind, your heart, your feelings, they really need that time out every once in a while. So make sure you guys are doing that for yourselves. Make sure you guys are taking care of yourselves and, you know, giving yourself the time that you need to recover from some of the traumatic events that happen to you throughout the week and the month. You know, it's really, really important. That's really how I've gotten by through most of my problems that I have too. It's just a mental reset that I constantly give myself, or like, you know, switching it up, changing pace. Hey, if this doesn't work, try that. If that doesn't work, try this. And then I'm always striving to get there somehow. Like, it really is like that Marine Corps motto: improvise, adapt, and overcome. That's really all it's about at the end of the day. So yeah, just make sure that you guys are taking care of yourselves, and I'll let you guys know. Maybe I'll get a couple of videos here and there about the movie and how it's going, and like maybe the popcorn bucket. We might do a review, Krispy Kreme review coming up. So I'll see you guys pretty soon on that one, and we'll check in with you guys later.